Now it's time to put the regulator back in the door. Like I told you before, we're going to leave some of the hardware in and loose. What I did find as we started to put this in is I needed to take the two front mounting bolts out so it would slide in easier. Be really careful when you're putting this back in because you don't want to hit that outer door skin and ding the door. Slide this back in and get those mounting bolts right through the big holes, and they'll fall right down in place and hold themselves. Now you can put this slide track in and set it in place. Since it's holding itself up, put these two bolts in, and then you can secure everything. Plug the motor up, and I want you to know that the kit came with a couple of rubber covers to go over these. Those studs are a little bit longer than what the factory ones were. We're going to bring the window down and we're going to line that back up just like what we did before so we can drop the glass down and secure it back in its holder. Be easy because that glass is kind of heavy. Line that up and get those studs from the glass mount right back in that channel. Now we can secure everything and get that glass hooked up. And we'll give it a test run to see how it operates. It's working a lot better. Now we're going to put the channel runs in and we're going to get it adjusted. We want that glass not to bounce around when it's down. So we're going to have to run it and get that fit just right. After we make some adjustments, we're going to check it again and adjust those runs. So now we've got the motor plugged up, and I want you to note that the harness is a little bit longer than it was originally, so we're going to secure that out of the way. Now we're going to go back like we started by plugging up that speaker and installing it in the door. Be sure and secure all the wires out of the way so nothing gets caught in the motor, the regulator, or the glass as things are operating, going up and down. We'll move some things and we're going to get ready to put the dust shield back up on the door. If it did happen to rip, you can always use a little bit of tape to hold that back in place. But don't just take it off because that prevents dust from getting into your car. Put all the moldings back on that you took off. And then it's time to go ahead and grab that door panel. You have to line those plastic tangs up Don't forget to hook up that light and get the switch wiring through. Then line those tangs up. Don't push or force. It will just fall right in place. And once you feel it, just ease it back down and it'll tighten right up against the door. Now it's time to install those 2 screws. And I'm going to give you a better look at the lens that we're going to put back on here and why it's so difficult to get that off. That plastic tab can break really easy. This is a 2000 model year truck and this plastic's so brittle. Be very careful. And remember, going back on, it can break just as easily as coming off. Just ease that back into place, and you're done. Now get your switches plugged back up. And we're going to set that switch panel in, rear end first, and then snap it down. You'll put that corner plate on and test your window. I'm real happy with the way this one came out.